A way of life. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Just wanted to come on here to do my career series. It's something I've been working on for quite some time now, and I'm really excited to get it out there. I'm going to be doing careers for the sign Pisces, for the 12th house, which is where Pisces lives, for the planet Neptune, which is ruled by Pisces, and the MC in Pisces. And I'll talk a little bit more about what all that is when I get to it. I'm trying to keep the energy current to a lot of the really big transits that are happening right now. So if you're a Pisces listening to this, I'd also suggest you listen to Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, and your sun, moon, and rising sign I would listen to as well. And if you don't know what any of that is, you can leave a comment below and let me know, and get yourself a reading that would help you learn what all those um, sun, moon, and risings are. So I'm just going to jump right on in. Pisces are compassionate, imaginative, creative, artistic people. Some of the careers that come with being a Pisces are philanthropists, psychologists, any career in the arts, specifically theater, and veterinarian. Um, Pisces lives in the 12th house. 12th house careers are related to introspection, meditating, contemplation, retreats, foreign countries, loss, disappointment, interruptions, uncertainty, and lack of direction in life. Pisces is actually one of the most misunderstood signs of the zodiac, um, because from an astrological point of view, Pisces have gone through the entire zodiac. It is the 12th house, so they've literally been through each of the 12 signs. It's not so much that they have a lack of direction in life, it's more so like they're bored and they've done everything. So it's like, what else more can I do? They're actually the most intelligent um, water sign. Um, Actually, the most powerful water sign is even more specific word to use in relation to their abilities. But careers that come with the 12th house are any work um, in seclusion, difficulty finding direction in life, hospital workers, um, interruptions in career, intuitive work like um, feng shui, psychics, Reiki, kind of any work that is done through your intuition, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Loss of jobs frequently, meditation instructor, prison worker, psychologist, um, work in foreign countries, jobs that require frequent interruption, uh, work involving travel, and work in the helping professions like nonprofits. When I think of jobs that require frequent interruption, like um, maybe like ambulance, hospitals, depending on what department, ambulance, police officers, firefighters. I feel like those are jobs that require frequent interruption, just because when you're on duty, you're not necessarily working, doing what you're supposed to be doing until you get a page of something happening. And you could finish um, uh, finish a job and then get called to do something else. To me, that's frequent interruption. Um, some of the careers that come with your midheaven. Now, your midheaven is your MC in your birth chart that is directly related to careers. And wherever your MC is in your birth chart, if it's in Pisces, then these careers are for you. Um, Music, theater, film, literature, and the healing arts. And Neptune is a generational planet. So basically, um, it's it's not like Mercury or the moon, whereas, Mercury is like a 2-week transit, sometimes a little longer. And the moon is a 2-day transit, so it's easier to relate to any one individual or an event, right? It's easier to measure, to calculate. Whereas Neptune, I believe, takes about 165 years to go around the entire zodiac, and 14 years to go through one zodiac sign. So 14 years is a lot of time, and it's a lot different, or a lot of things take place within measuring that sign. So when you think about it from that point of view, why it's called a generational planet, it's just more events, you know, bigger changes can happen within a 14-year time frame. And with that being said, um, it 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 rules a lot more, right? So some of the careers that come with the planet Neptune are poetry, music, and dance. And when we start talking about some of these bigger transits that are happening, we have right now Taurus and Uranus that is breaking down um, everything into more practical ways of doing things, right? Um, when I think of this energy and what that means for careers in Neptune, I think of like music changing, dance changing. Neptune rules um, like illusions, like the illusions to things, the feelings of things, right? It rules drugs, alcohol. It's a trance, like it's a trance. So it's like the emotion of things, and anything that sets you in a trance. So I think about music changing, like more digital house music, or being able to music being played in such a way where you can see the vibrations of it. Like it's just gonna be digitally for one with Uranus, and more transit like. And I can only think of like those, when you see those movies and they're playing the rave music and everybody's high. In those movies, how everybody's in a trance, like that's the feeling we'll get from music then. um, Dances, I mean, of course, dance changes quite often. It actually just looks differently, but even dance in such a way where it's related to theater, dance like all those dance shows. So these are things that Pisces would be interested in, right? Because that's what Neptune rules, right? So you can be one of those dancers or really into those dance shows. And I mean all of them, whether it's the Momba, salsa, whatever floats your boat. But also to add in an element of like weirdness to it, because Neptune rules the ocean, but the very, very depths of the ocean, the very bottom of the ocean, where they have the unseen. That's the illusion, the fogginess that comes with Neptune, or the unseeming, like you don't know what you want to do. It's just more of the feeling of something, the illusion of something, right? So when I think of that and I think of dance, I think of dance, but you be the person with like a really different crazy hairdo, or makeup being insane, something that's like weird and different. um, um, I think of I think the one of the best descriptions of um, your career involving dance is Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres. Her show is evolved around music and dancing. Um, and when I think of poetry, I think of it being more auto tune. Again, just relating it to this energy that's coming up. So you might be the person who's into poetry, but somehow, that's gonna change. There's gonna be something different about it. And I don't know why I hear auto tune, because Uranus is all about computers, technology, digital. Um, Unexpected events and changes, electricity. So, there's going to be some kind of that component that's going to be added to poetry. It's just going to look different, right? Um, what else? Neptune rules um, movies, theater, television, fashion and glamour. The fashion and glamour piece goes back to the makeup. I don't know why when I think of Neptune, fashion and glamour, I think of like the difference between um, like transsexuals, right? Because they have an illusion to them, a way of looking. Their makeup's different, they're dressed different, they have these very flamboyant um, attitudes about them, and it's like the illusion to the glamour, or the emotion that you get from it, the way it makes you feel, the response you get to it. Like, that's how I feel like Neptune. So you might be the person who's really good at doing crazy kind of makeup, or if you go to movies, theater, and television, it's the scary movies, the weird movies, like Twilight Zone. um, you know, things that are just weird and give off these illusory sensories, right? Or something that evokes a really strong emotion, like um, going back to the Ellen show, where she has people, she's always scaring people on her show. That's definitely a Neptunian thing, like jokesters, video games, um, Disney, Pixar, um, Disney, Pixar, specifically because of the effects that come with Disney. I honestly think Disney has the dopest effects, and then video games are really good with their effects too. But it's the illusion of the way something looks. So if you're a Pisces, you might be drawn to stuff like this, right? Or you can be into how to create stuff like that. Um, or you might be the person who the prickster, the prankster, the person that likes pulling jokes on people, that like putting cake and pie in people's faces. Like, these are Neptunian things. Um what the hell was the name of that show? That guy, I think he was like a skateboard kid, and he had this weird show where they would just do like really dumb stunts. And I don't want to say it's a stunt man, because it's not so much about being a stunt man, but just doing like bizarre, crazy things like that. I think it was Rob and Big and Rob, or something like that. I don't know. I haven't watched TV in years, but um, But that would be like a perfect example of a Neptunian show, you know. Um, Neptune, again, because it rules the sea, deep sea divers, the person that goes down to find out all the mysteries of the deep, deepest of the deep sea. Um, Obviously, fashion models, um, weird and crazy animals, because it also, Neptune also rules hypochondria, abnormalities, deficiencies. So you could be the person who works in the hospital, who works with these types of things, or being deep down in the ocean, you get to see the weird, crazy fish and the Godzillas, the anacondas, those weird, all those weird things that, they're not really so much out in the open. And it's in seclusion, right? You go down as a one diver. Um, it could be two for a cameraman, but for the most part, it's something that you do on your own. Um, Even as a doctor, a lot of that stuff is done in seclusion. You'd be doing surgery. You may need more people working in surgery doing a lot of the work that you do, but um, healing or having the education to heal deficiencies and abnormalities, like you know I'm gonna say it. The transgender changes. You could be the doctors who are really good at doing those. The ones who are willing to do that kind of stuff, because it's weird and it's the illusion of something, right? Um, and it evokes a type of emotion from people, like scaring people. These things are. Um, of excitement to Pisces. Of They like those types of things. I I Dreams, sleep analysis people, or people who write books on dream analysis. The sleep apnea doctors, the doctors who do the testing for sleep apnea, magicians, again, because of it alludes to um, the illusion of something. I remember watching this NPR video where this guy was talking about introverts, and he said it's not that introverted people don't like going out or doing fun things. It's just that they have to do them with smaller groups of people, because in bigger groups of people, other people take their energy. So when we go back to the intuitive work, like being psychics, you're super sensitive. It's more about, that's going back to the inclusion, liking to work in seclusion. It's more about a meditative state. And then this starts to get into the spirituality part of Neptune. Neptune rules your spirituality. So a higher vibrational person would be your monks, the Dogon tribe. About to get into my esoteric talk. Um, the the Dogon tribe. You got to go Google it. These are people who can fly, right? It's the illusion of something. So you're good at this. Feng Shui. A lot of the Asian Chinese culture is probably very interesting to you, because they are intuitive people. They work on, Feng Shui is about setting your house up in such a way by knowing north, south, west, and which is best to have it so that you can bring income flow within your house, a flow of peace within your house. That's all intuition, just work that's just not that well put out there, but on a deeper level, you understand things from an intuitive level where you don't really have to speak, right? That's where the meditation and monk piece comes from. And karate, right? Karate is based off of movement, of flow, and within your body, you instinctively and intuitively know how to make, how to manipulate the elements, right? I don't know why I just thought of, oh my God, what the heck is the name of that movie? I think the little boy's name is Aang. It's a Chinese traditional movie, and he has to learn all four elements. But the movie that he made, that was made from that show, the element he just so happened to be manipulating was water. Pisces is a Neptune. Pisces is a water sign. Airbender. That's the name of the movie. That is a perfect description of Pisces energy, of Neptune energy, the types of thing on a higher vibrational, somebody that's working from a higher vibration, right? When you really get life from an instinctual level, right? Those things might be something that really interest you. Buddhas, I said monks already. Animal whisperers, right? We said veterinarians. Yes, veterinarians as in care, right? But also you would be the animal whisperers. What the heck is the name of that guy's name? I think he's the dog whisperer, they call him. He has like his own show or something. But stuff like that, that's Neptunian. Working with animals, again, in such a way where it's very instinctual. You don't have to speak, but you have you still have some kind of understanding with that another energy. It's really called manipulating energy, by the way. I used to watch this radio show, and they talked about oh my God, what was it that they were talking about? Well, I don't remember the bigger meaning, but I remember the woman breaking down the word abracadabra, speaking of magic, right? The word abracadabra, you can go Google this, means I speak as I create. Yeah, let that sit with you for a minute. I speak as I create. Yes, that is the word that makes magic appear when you're doing magic, right? Also, in translation, I think in the Hebrew language, in the Bible, abracadabra is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's all, you can Google all of this information. I'm not blowing smoke. And I'm not crazy. Well, maybe a little bit, but nobody's paying attention to that part. I speak as I create, abracadabra. When you understand life from a higher spiritual vibration, you operate off of, this is when people say they have this instinctual understanding of I create my own reality, right? They're not so much operating from, they don't understand why things aren't working for them. They don't, complain about stuff that happens to them in their life. They find ways to make it through. Neptune energy. higher vibrational Neptune energy, your spirituality. When you understand life from an instinctual point of view, you know, you'll probably be the person who's into the chakras, right? Um, um, Stones and crystals. You know, that's all the stuff tarot readers and tarot readers. They read cards. They read energy. Tarot readers read energy. It's very real. Don't hate them. And last but not least, I can talk about this all day. I love this. I love Neptune. I love this type of talk. But I'll leave you with this one last thing, because I am a huge fan, and I'm almost positive at least one person listening to this will know exactly what I'm talking about. The movie, the Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Doctor Strange. Um, um, when he was sitting in a meditative state, and he was like going like this in the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. He was meditating. He was in a deep, contemplative, meditative state. And he said, I just went through like some really long, huge number of back into time to see how this all plays out. And then you see at the end of the movie that everybody comes out in these time capsules, time portals. The reason why I'm bringing this up, there's a point to it, is because Doctor Strange is the only superhero that got his powers not from any freak accident or anything like that, but just by how educated he was. He read everything, the entire library of the sacred knowledge. Yes? Does everybody remember the first Doctor Strange? Right? He got into a car accident and he went to go see his teacher, and while he was there recuperating, learning about thyself, I speak as I create. Yes? He learned he's the keeper of the time. Powerful message. Now you got to go back and watch that movie. I speak as I create. Abracadabra. I am going to leave you with that message. If you find yourself not relating to any of these signs as a Pisces, again, check your rising sign and your moon sign. Check all the other Capricorn, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Listen to those signs as well. You might find something in there. But you also have to remember that, you know, these signs come in 3 decans. So if you're a Pisces, Aquarius, cusper, that's your early degree Pisces, then you might relate more to Aquarius jobs. If you're Aries Pisces, that's your late degree Pisces, you might be more interested in Aries jobs. If you're a Pisces, your middle Pisces, you probably can relate to all of this, of what I'm saying. But if you don't and you have more questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. And this wraps up my session for Pisces. Peace.